Bismillahirrahmanirrahim and Assalamualaikum. Greetings to everyone that's watching this video, especially to you, Madam Lenny. So, we're from Group 2 present our project that is the hotel room reservation system of King the Land Hotel. That's right. We're making a system that could reservation system to the customer for the King the Land Hotel. So I'm going to introduce myself. And my other colleagues. Me, Abu Zakir Barisenyo.
I'm Muhammad Zikullah.
Assalamualaikum and hi, I am Farihin bin Batika.
Hi, my name is Ian Roshan Killa.
So the first one, content. The first in our presentation is the purpose project summary. The second one, objective of the project. The third, the analysis data. The fourth, design algorithm. The fifth one, source code, and the last one, sample of output. So we're going to the first one. That is the proposed project summary. The purpose of this coding is to facilitate hotel room bookings involve designing a user-friendly and efficient system that allows users to easily reserve their desired accommodations. Key components of such a system include user-friendly room selection, the duration of the customer's stays, and calculate the total bill for all the rooms that be booked by the customers. The coding process should prioritize responsiveness, data validation, and accurate reading of the customer's input to satisfy their experience using this application. Overall, the goal is to create a robust and reliable system that simplifies the hotel booking process, providing user with a seamless and enjoyable experience from start to finish.
So this is the objective of the project, and the first one is to calculate the price of the room booked by the customer. The second one is to determine foreign tag and to display appropriate message if based upon user input. This is our analysis data, where our input are as follows: name, night stay 1, room code, response, ID, text, A and B. A and B here are the parameters for a function. Moving our processes are as follow: display room and pricing information, function for price calculation, function for invalid input messages, loop execution, function for identity of user Malaysian or non-Malaysian citizen, and determine tourist tag. For our condition, these are the conditions used as stated in our slide. This response is for a while loop. This room code condition is when if is used to ensure it meets the following condition. This response condition is used to identify when the user has committed an error in their input to loop the program, while this response condition is to display the receipt. As for the condition for A equal D, A equal K, A equal S, A equal P, they are used in a function to calculate the price. Meanwhile, the ID equal Y and ID equal N, it is used to determine whether the user is eligible for tag or not. Finally, we have the formula, which are tag equal -1 and tag equal to night stay 1 multiply tag. Moving on to output, their variables are the parameters for another function that display the receipt, and our output variable is P, O, T, and Y.
Let's move on to the pseudocode. Pseudocode is a clear and concise representation that outlines the step-by-step algorithm for our project. To this presentation, where I will be unveiling our pseudocode, a powerful blueprint that brings structure and clarity to our complex problem-solving process, ensuring seamless implementation and efficiency. Within this line of simplified code lies the magic that will guide us toward turning our ideas into reality.
For our coding of this project, coded by me, Zikrullah, Farihin, and Abuzar, we will want to first discuss on our function prototype. The total of functions used are 5, where we have a function to display an error message when user enters a false input, another to prompt user to enter their preferred room types and nights to stay, a function to display the receipt when program is run without mistakes, a function to determine whether the user is eligible for tax based upon their status of being Malaysian or not, and finally, a function to calculate the price once user has completed entering the preferred room types and nights to stay. Moving on, we visit our main function, where it is used to display to the user regarding the offers of the hotel. Room type function is then called to prompt user to enter their desired room and nights. In this function, we first prompt the user to enter the name. Once the user has entered the name, a function called for identity is made. In this function, the program will prompt the user to enter their nationality, and depending on their answers, the charge of tax will be determined. Suppose that the user enters an invalid input. The return value for tax will be -1, which then, once returned to room type, it will call for the function invalid. In this function invalid, it will display an error message which goes by the following: invalid input, please restart the program. Moving on, if users did not commit any mistakes in the identity function, the program will continue to ask the user for their desired room types. A looping structure is used here in case the user wishes to book multiple rooms in one sitting. An if statement is used here to ensure that the user enters an input without error. If there is any error, the function invalid will be called. On the other hand, if user enters an input without error, the program will move on and prompt the user to enter the preferred nights to stay. The function priceFunc is called to calculate the total price of the room. In this function, it will accept the room code and multiply it with the desired nights to stay inputted by the user. It will then return the total price, and thus the total is determined. Continuing, the plus equals operator is used here in case the user prefers multiple rooms, which will then sum up the total price. Night stay 1 then is used to sum up the total nights the user has booked. The next statement is also used to store data in the string called room type. To then, the next statement will be used as a separator when displaying the receipt. Finally, the program will then ask the user if they prefer to quit the program. If statements are used here to determine error in input. If the user wants to quit the program, tax will multiply with the total value of nights that user prefers to stay, and the total would then plus with the tax to get the sum of price. It then calls for the function output, which will display the receipt. The contents of this function are the information given by the user and the total price of their booking. That is all for our coding.
So this is our sample of output, and this is sample 1 without tag. So first and foremost, it will display welcome to King Dylan Hotel. The following are information on rooms and pricing, and it will display the table that information of our hotel, which is room type code, and pricing. Also, it will display note. There will be RM10 tag charge per night for non-Malaysian, and this hotel also allow for the exemption of tag if user is Malaysian with a non-Malaysian guest. Thank you. The first thing first, the program will ask the user to enter their name. For our example, we enter Ian as a name, and the program will ask, are you a Malaysian citizen? Why or no? So the user just need to enter Y or N, which is Y is Malaysian and N is non-Malaysian. Then the program will ask, please enter desirable room type, and the user just need to use room type code. As our example, we enter D. And then please enter desirable night to stay. The user just need to put number of day. For in our example, we entered 5. And the program will ask, do you want to quit this program? Y or no? The user just need to put Y or no, which is Y is to quit this program and no is to continue the program. So in our example, we enter Y, which is to quit this program, and the receipt will come out, and it will display name, type of room, number of day, total payment. And also thank you for choosing King Dalen Hotel. Have a great stay.
For our second sample output, tax is considered when booking for hotel. As we can see, the tax is added into the total price of the receipt. To calculate it, the tax will multiply with the 5 and it will then add with the total price to get the total payment of Rm 2,990.
Sample of output, the sample number 3, without text, which is a looping. So as you can see there, the customer put out input more than one room. So the user start out the name, as always, the name, citizenship, and then the room, and then the desirable nights, how many nights they want to stay, and then the final one, the coding asks the customer, do you want to quit this program? If the customer want to purchase more than one room, he can. So he put N there, so no. Then the coding can repeat to the question, please enter the desirable room type. So the customer can enter another room to reserve. So, and then after they pick the room, the coding will ask them how many nights they're gonna stay, and then finally the coding will ask again the customer if they want to quit this program or yes or no. So as you can see, this one without tax, so the total up is 6,690 rupees. So the sample 4 with text and looping, it's the same with the third one, where the customer pick more than one room type, but this one with a text. So the total payment is much more expensive. As you can see there, it is 8,850 ringgit. Okay. Sample number 5. It will display invalid output. Please restart program if the user entered invalid identity of user. As you can see there, the user inserted a different type of identity on the Malaysian citizen C. So you either choose, the questions are you a Malaysian citizen, which you can reply Y with yes and for no. So if you're a Malaysian citizen, you type a capital letter Y, and if you're not a Malaysian citizen, you just insert the capital letter N. But as you can see, there's an error there. So the output will be, the text will come out and stated invalid input, please restart the program. And the last sample is, it will display invalid input, please restart program if user entered invalid room type code. So this is happened when a user inserted a wrong type of room code that eventually the system can't read. So here you can see, please enter a desirable room type. The user type a code that doesn't exist in the coding, so there will be display an output that say invalid output, please restart program. So yeah, that's it.
Alright, thank you. That's all from me.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you.
I think that's all from us, and I want to say thank you for all of you guys that watching our videos. Okay, bye.